Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm going to say welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. Today, we're going to talk about Elon Musk and Tesla. I just saw this really disturbing video about Tesla that made me think that Elon Musk might be in some serious trouble. We're going to talk about Elon Musk and Tesla, why Tesla stock has been falling into the toilet, and we're going to break some of that down for you. So get comfortable. Buckle up, seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day. And the condition is that we are Black first. Black first means we love Black people. It does not mean that we hate white people or anybody else. It just means we love ourselves. Also, we care about our families. We care about our kids. We want our community to do well. We want our children to get ahead of the curve. We are teaching wealth and economics to each other and to our families. And as of this day, the Black Business School has helped over 10 million of our people learn to invest for the first time. If you agree with the B1 philosophy, if you agree that it's okay to be Black first and for Black people to love each other and to teach each other, put a B1 in the chat. Put a B1 in the chat. Also, shout out the city that you're from. Let me know what city you're from. I see Justin's out of NYC, and Dennis, much love to you. Hello, Sherelle. Good to see you. Pilfoy says, crypto. Yeah, we're talking about crypto for sure. Justin says, prime student here. Man, I hope, Justin, that you bought that stock, Madrigal Pharmaceuticals. One of the students brought that stock to my attention in the Prime program, drboyceprime.com. That's the URL if you ever want to join us. And I looked at it, analyzed it for the student, and I said, this is such a good investment that I'm going to put my money into it. I invest where I talk to you guys about investing. I don't just say, hey, go invest over there, and I'm not willing to put my own money where my mouth is. I invest with you, so I win with you and I lose with you. And let me just tell you, Madrigal Pharmaceuticals, ticker symbol MDGL, did something amazing. Somebody hit me up and they said, yeah, did you see the stock today? And I said, no. But I saw a lot of green in my bank account, and this stock literally went up about 250% in like a couple of days. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I was super happy. And but that's how pharmaceutical companies are. Pharmaceutical companies will jump on you like that. They have what is called a lot of jump risk. Jump risk is that risk that a stock is just going to do something insane and just go ballistic and just suddenly out of the blue either go way up or way down. And I'll show you, like, this is the stock right here. It's Madrigal Pharmaceuticals. Basically, I said, I think I know what happened. It looks like they had a clinical trial, and the clinical trial was successful. And you can see right where that big jump is. That's where it happened. And this particular student that introduced me to the stock, he and his wife, I think, made $250,000 on that one investment. So I was super happy for him. And you guys will know, right after we talked about the stock, I sent you guys a text and said, I'm going to go buy some. I don't give investment advice. I don't tell you guys what to buy. I just tell you what I'm buying. And I did buy some shares. So my wife was giving me extra kisses on the cheek because we made enough money literally to go out and buy a new Tesla. So congratulations to those of you that jumped in. There's a lot of other opportunities out there, and we're going to be on the hunt to find good investment opportunities. So feel free to join us. If you'd like to join us, we meet regularly. Go to drboyceprime.com. Okay, so let's hop in and let's talk about this. Speaking of Tesla, I don't know if anybody is a fan of Tesla. Let me know how you feel about Tesla stock. How do you feel about Tesla as a company? How do you feel about Elon Musk? Do you like Elon Musk? Do you not like him? A lot of people feel that Musk is they either think he's a hero or a villain. They either think he's a bad guy or a good guy. Excuse me. Right now, Musk is in the middle of some pretty substantial culture wars that exist in our society. He went out and bought Twitter, and now he went and banned everybody that was running Twitter and kicked them all out, fired a whole bunch of them. And he's going back and looking at all these things that the media is just conveniently ignoring, called the Twitter files. And the Twitter files is where he's basically showing how they did a lot of really interesting stuff that really comes off kind of shady. When Joe Biden's crackhead son was out, getting in trouble and left his laptop at the computer store, they conveniently blocked all the articles that were reporting on Hunter Biden. And that offended me as a black man, because I know a lot of people who went to jail for drugs, and they didn't get nearly as deep in the crack pipe as Hunter Biden. So this idea that this kid was allowed to just kind of, or this man, he's not a kid anymore, that it was sort of sort of swept over by the media. That right there tells me that that's a problem. I think that if he were black or something, I think it'd be all over the place. But anyway, this selective outrage has been interesting. I've personally enjoyed watching the transition as Musk has taken over Twitter. I thought it was a hell of a power play. I thought it was an excellent powernomics lesson for those of us in the black community. Elon Musk is a guy who used his wealth for power. Money is power. I need you all to understand that money is power. A lot of times we think that marching is power. We think that praying, to a black and white Jesus is power. We think that that holding hands and singing "We Shall Overcome" is power. And maybe those things feel powerful, but that may not be as powerful as actually having the ability to write a check. One of the most powerful things black people can do is to learn to raise a whole generation of kids that know how to write a check. The easiest way in business, when I'm doing business, I have all kinds of people that come to me with ideas for partnerships where they want me to put up all the money and take all the risk, and then they'll share the profits. I have all kinds of people that come to me with all these great ideas that are going to change the whole black community. And I hear it all. I respect it all. And your idea might be that brilliant. But the best way to get anybody's attention is when you can write a check. When you can write a check for your idea, when you write a big check that says, I'm putting thousands of dollars of my money behind something I believe in, then guess what? You will get instant respect. You will get instant recognition. You will get instant validation from those who don't know or aren't sure about what you're doing. So if I ever want to show, whenever I do business, this is a little business tip, a little Uncle Boyce game here. Whenever I'm doing business with people, when I want to show them that I'm serious, you know what I do? I write a check. I say, okay, here's money I'm putting into this as a good faith effort to show you that I'm not just somebody who's talking. Talk is cheap. Money makes your talk valuable. Like, put your money where your mouth is, and then the words coming out of your mouth have more meaning if you're willing to invest in yourself. That comes from a financial theory. There's a whole financial theory around that called the lemon theory. The lemon theory basically says, give me a yes in the chat if you know what I'm talking about, if you get what I'm saying, okay? The lemon theory basically says that if you're not willing to invest in your idea, then I should not believe you nearly as much as I would if you are willing to invest in your idea. Seriously, it means that if you are telling me, oh, Dr. Boyce, I got this idea, it's so great, and it's going to go make $1 billion, it's going to be amazing. First thing I do is I start looking under the hood, and I'm like, okay, how much have you put into this idea? How many years have you been working? Have you dedicated your life to this project? How much money have you put into this? Did you put your life savings, a half of it into your idea? What have you done to develop this before you came along and expecting me to put my money up for something you ain't put no money up for? Right? Seriously, that's what people do. That's what smart people do. Because it's easy for you to tell me, like, oh, Dr. Boyce, if you invest $50,000 in my idea, we can go take over the world. Well, I don't need another $50,000 investment. I don't need another place to write a check to. I've written many checks. I put my life on the line to accomplish what I accomplished. I put everything I had into the Black Business School. I have put probably 50,000 hours of labor into building the Black Business School and 20,000 videos that have gotten about 1 billion views, literally 1 billion. We're approaching 1 billion with a B. I'm not kidding. So I've already done that. I've been there, done that. This is not a concept anymore. This is real. And I had to make it real when nobody else believed it was real. You could talk all day about how great your idea is, but if you're not willing to invest in your idea, then people don't believe you, and they should not believe you, because you got to believe you before anybody else does. Give me a yes in the chat or an amen to let me know if you understand where I'm coming from, if you get what I'm saying. That's a little bit of just, financial information. There's a whole theory around that. There's whole entire research papers written about this lemon theory, which says that if you want to know if somebody believes in something, don't just listen to what they say, look at what they do. Like, if you tell me you love Black women and you into Black women and you support Black women, well, I'm gonna look at your wife. I'm be like, okay, well, if you love Black women, when it came time for you to make your biggest investment in your life, you married Becky. So that tells me there's a little bit of a contradiction here. It doesn't mean you're a bad person because you married a white woman. I'm not dogging. I'm not making fun of anybody who chooses that path. I have people in my family that have done that, so I have to be real careful about that. But it's like, don't tell me you down for the Black community, you down for the Black woman, when when it came time for you to really show and prove and invest your life into another human being, you didn't pick a Black woman. So actions are different from words. Actions speak louder than words. I listen to your actions, not your words. Speaking of that, speaking of the limit theory, I'm going to bring Elon Musk back into the conversation. I know that was the topic of our podcast, but y'all know me. I got to go where the spirit tells me, and I'm not scared to do that because I know that the spirit usually sends me into good places in terms of things I can share that will help you understand or grow in your economic knowledge. With that said, do me a favor real quick. Could you please hit the thumbs up button? Thumbs up, share, subscribe. What's up on Instagram? My Instagram is the real Boyce Watkins. So feel free, if you like real conversations, join us at the real Boyce Watkins on Instagram. Also, this podcast. If you look up the Dr. Boyce Breakdown on Spotify or Apple, you can find the podcast there. You can listen, while you're in your car, etc. Also, I gotta warn you guys, there are fake Boyce Watkins scammers out here that have fake accounts that will message you even during my live streams. They'll come in and say, "Send me an inbox message" or whatever. That's not me. I'm not telling you to inbox me. So please be careful. I don't want these people to take your money. That's why I have to warn you during our podcast. Okay, so let's get it cracking here. So we're talking about limit theories and the idea that you can really get a sense of how serious somebody is by what they're actually doing, where they're investing their money, where they're investing their energy, where they're investing their life. Well, Elon Musk walks right into that conversation because one of the reasons that Tesla stock has been plummeting. If you look, I'm going to show you guys a graph of Tesla stock. Tesla stock has literally just been like on fire in a bad way, like you're like burned alive, like going into the trash can, like just a garbage crap stock lately. And I'm gonna show you guys. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. I said I was gonna pull up Tesla stock. Here we go. Let me pull up on my screen. I want y'all to see this. It's kind of sad actually because Elon Musk is such a smart guy and I think he's a genius. But his stock right now is just it's just doing terribly. And the thing is, it's doing terrible in a terrible market. It stands out in the level of terribleness of what the stock has been doing. So here's the stock, right? So here's, I hope you guys can see that in the chart. Give me a yes if you can see that. And you see that Tesla stock has dropped by about 64% in the last year. That's pretty massive. In the last 5 days, it's gone down 21% in the last month. Yesterday, it went down 9%. The last month, it's gone down 31.58%. 31.58%. If Elon Musk did not own such a substantial percentage of the company, he'd probably be fired as the CEO. He would be fired. He wouldn't be in there. Now, again, speaking on the idea that money is power, it is Elon Musk's ownership that protects his job. It is his ownership that protects his role. And this is important for you to understand as well, because a lot of us get it twisted. We get mad. We'll say, "Oh man, well, I'm black and I say this and I say that and I do this and do that." They fire you every time. Or they fired me because I was too this and I was too that. And I get that. I understand that. I got, when I was at Syracuse, they wanted to fire me. They didn't actually technically fire me, but they were pushing me out. They didn't want me there. They just gave me money because they knew I was going to sue their asses for racism. That's why the president made a negotiation with me and gave me a few $100,000 to like chill out. And I was cool with that. I was like, okay, thank you for the money. I'm gonna go over here and work on my business. I'm gonna take every penny you're giving me and I'm gonna put it toward building something of my own where I can't be fired. And that's what I did. But I understand. I understand that when you get out of line, you get a little bit too black. They're going to be looking to get rid of you. In case you don't know that, let me just be the first to tell you that white folks aren't quite used to the B1 philosophy. If you're really about it like that in a masterpiece style, they're not going to really be interested in keeping you around. You're going to probably have a hard time in most white institutions. It doesn't mean white people are all terrible people. I'm not into hating anybody. It just means that you live in America. You live in America. America is a country that is built on a type of racism that basically says that blackness is just not appreciated as much as whiteness is. And that's life, right? But there are spaces where your blackness becomes an asset and not a liability. You just have to build those spaces. That's it. You just have to build those spaces. So Musk, in building his own space, he's in a position where he can't be fired. Tesla stock is going into the ground. I just showed you guys. It dropped 64%. I think in a year where the S&P maybe dropped maybe 20%, 25%, but it didn't drop 64%. So Tesla stock has gone from being a darling of Wall Street and an economic superstar to being just an absolute turd, just literally a turdy stock, crappy stock. A lot of people are dumping it. It's really getting bad. And the reason Musk has not been fired yet as CEO is because he owns such a big part of the company. Same thing with Twitter. He took a poll and said, "I'm going to let y'all vote as to whether or not I'll be the CEO." People voted him out. He put somebody in there. But don't for one second think Elon Musk is not calling the shots at Twitter. Elon Musk owns the company. The owner always trumps the CEO. The owner trumps the manager. If you are the manager at a Burger King and they give you keys to open up the store every day and they give you access to all the frozen hamburgers in the back, That does not mean you're the owner. You're still going to do what the owner tells you to do. If you are the babysitter and the nanny and you are spending more time with the kids than the mother does, that does not make you the mama. That does not make you the parent of that child. You're still the nanny. You're still the babysitter. So Black people, unfortunately, in this country, and this is one of the things I'm fighting against. This is one of the things we are challenging in the Black business school, is this idea that we've been well trained to believe that there's a lot of merit in being basically what I would refer to as economic nannies. We become economic nannies and caregivers and caretakers of institutions that are built by other people. And we take a lot of pride in that because there's validation that comes with that. There's money that comes with that. There's like, you get patted on the head. That's a good boy. You did really good. Boy, without you, we couldn't have built this company the way we built it. Without you, Deion Sanders, University of Colorado can't be great again without you coming in here as prime time and you're making Colorado great again. Right now, I know I bring that up and people are like, oh, you're poking at Deion. I'm not poking at Deion. I'm just saying that there's a difference between building something that's yours versus building something that belongs to somebody else, even if they pay you well. If you get paid well, you're kind of like a hired soldier, or you're a caretaker of the resources that are owned and controlled by somebody else, which is very different from being a caretaker of resources that are owned by you. So I want your children to make sure they know the difference, so they don't think that because I put all this energy into someone else's business, that's something that's going to necessarily amount to a legacy that's going to be mine. It's not going to be your legacy. They might give you credit. They might, I'm sure, for example, let's use Deion Sanders as an example. I think he's going to be a great coach because he is good. He's very good, and I think that, when he wins a bunch of games, maybe wins a championship or two, they'll put his picture up somewhere. They'll maybe put him in the Colorado Hall of Fame. They'll maybe even give him a statue, but that doesn't make that institution his, right? There's still another level that some of us can go to. And I want to encourage you to always know that there's another level of control. Elon Musk is at that level. Elon Musk is at that level of Twitter. Elon Musk is at that level of Tesla. And you might love him or hate him, but no matter how much you hate him, you can't unmake him as one of the richest human beings on the planet. You can't make him broke. You can't make him unpowerful. You can't make him uninfluential. You can't cancel somebody that has that much economic weight. When you get that level of economic weight, as long as you stay out of jail or whatever, right? When you get that level of economic weight, you effectively become uncancelable. You become you're not a planet anymore. You become the center of the galaxy. You become a black hole. You become the sun. You become something that's so powerful that people revolve around you, and you don't have to revolve around anybody. You can move in whatever direction you want. In our solar system, the sun ain't gotta respond to what the planets are doing. The sun moves all throughout the Milky Way galaxy, and the planets follow the sun around the Milky Way galaxy. The sun just does what it wants. The sun doesn't have to do anything. The sun just sits there and shines. And that's power. That's power. The gravitational power of the sun carries all the planets with him. So wherever Musk goes, people will follow. The minions will follow. His lovers will follow him. His haters will follow him. That's what real power looks like, And I want your kids to understand this so that one day they'll grow up and say, you know what? I want to be the sun. I want to be that dude. I want to be that lady. I want to be the queen of all things. I want to have something. I want to have something where I'm just so good at what I do that all my haters are just sitting there anticipating my next move. And that's something that I think is something that we're not quite used to because we kind of live in a space where we're trained to be very reactionary. We react to what powerful people do instead of doing what powerful people do. A powerful person just does their thing. They're not necessarily doing their thing in response to what other people are doing unless they're responding to a more powerful person. Okay. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Also, by the way, there's a free training on how to create a family investment club. Investment clubs are a great way to build wealth with your family. Feel free to go to my website, boycewatkins.com. It's a free training. If you scroll down, there's a free training on how to build a family investment club. And also, I got to mention, I do have a new book out. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. And so if you'd like to get a copy of that book, it's actually available on Amazon. And it's built around key principles that any family can follow to build a legacy that's going to last for hundreds of years. So the Jewish community, they have rules of business that they've been using for thousands of years. You see other communities with their sort of rules and sort of codes of conduct. Well, this is presented as a code of conduct that I think If you follow these basic rules in terms of strength, accountability, economic intelligence, it'll make a huge difference in your family. So feel free to get a copy. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It's right there on Amazon, or you can get it on my website at drboycebooks.com. It's totally up to you. All right. So with that said, a couple of things about Elon. So where Elon is in trouble, I'm going to show you guys a video. Now, if you're on Instagram, you won't see the video, so you can go to drboycetv.com if you'd like to see it. But but I can describe what's in it. So I want you to check out this video. This video was done on Twitter, or was presented on Twitter by some guy named Dan O'Dowd. And Dan O'Dowd, I think Dan O'Dowd might be a reporter or something. I think he's the Green Hill Software CEO and founder of the Dawn Project, and he's running a campaign to make computers safe for humanity and ban Tesla full self-driving. Okay, so it sounds like he doesn't like Elon Musk. He's got a blue check mark, a decent number of followers, and I know that there's been a lot of anger toward Musk for banning journalists from Twitter, which he can do, I guess, because he owns it. And apparently there's an ad that was put out by this guy to kind of make his point. And so I'm going to show you guys this video, and it is kind of disturbing. And I'm going to be honest with you. Let me show you this video. And he basically says that Tesla's full self-driving mode is not safe, that literally it runs over little kids. So let me just play the video, and I'm going to stop yapping for a minute so y'all can see it. So here we go.
What do you think Elon Musk's full self-driving Tesla will do when there's a child in a crosswalk?
It runs the child down.
We ran the test again. Watch the onboard footage. The test was conducted on a real street with a real crosswalk outside a school in Santa Barbara, California. There were no cones, there was room to swerve, and you can clearly see the accelerator. Full self-driving mode is engaged, the accelerator is not pressed, and the Tesla's display does not register the child. The Tesla runs down the child-sized mannequin.
Okay, so did you see the video? Give me a yes if you saw the video. Basically, in case you didn't see it, I'll describe it for you. It shows Tesla self-driving cars in the self-driving mode, and it basically ran over a little kid. Like it had, but it wasn't a real kid. It was like a cardboard cutout of a little kid walking across the street. And the Tesla in self-driving mode did not register the little child. It didn't register the kid, and it literally ran over the little kid, like in the street. And some people think that perhaps this could be the reason why Tesla stock dropped another 9% yesterday. And I don't know what the details are. You know, I told my son he's a big believer in Tesla, and you know, I'm his bonus dad, by the way. He's like 6'7", so I can't make kids that tall, but he's got a great father. His father's a great guy. We work together to raise him, and he loves Teslas, and he loves cars, and he loves technology. So we were talking about it, and he had a lot of explanations, and he said, yeah, well, you know, it's just a cardboard cutout, and it's still in beta mode and all that. I get it, but I think that there are actually companies that have made self-driving cars that actually work. I think that there are robo-taxis and stuff like that in different cities. And so I'd be really curious to see how far ahead of the rest of the world Tesla actually is. And let me tell you a story. When I was speaking at this conference in Arizona last week, it's called Women Doing It Big. And I was on my way. There's a guy that picked me up, and he picked me up as at the airport, and he was driving a Rivian. He was driving a green Rivian car, which is another type of electric vehicle. And we were just talking about it, and I was asking questions because my wife wants to get an electric car. And it's funny because a couple years ago, my wife and I, when we talked about getting an electric vehicle, we talked about getting a Tesla. Now she doesn't want a Tesla anymore. She wants an electric Mercedes. And so I talked to him about it, and it was interesting because we were kind of on the same wavelength, where there was a time where Tesla was the first brand that you talked about when it came to electric vehicles. That was the thing everybody sort of referenced. And now all these other companies are coming out with electric cars that are pretty damn good. And so in this car, this guy told me, he said, I had 3 Teslas. He said, I've had 3 Teslas. That's a super fan. He's literally spent almost $250,000 on different Teslas through the years. And I said, well, what happened? What made you leave? That's a big testimonial when you have someone that is a loyal customer who switches over and starts doing something else. And he just said he liked the Rivian better. He said he just, he said I just decided to go in a different direction, and he mentioned some reasons why he liked the Rivian. But that really got my attention. You got to pay attention when you have those loyal customers who say, yeah, I think I'm gonna do something else now. That usually means they have options that they consider to be equivalent or superior to the previous option. And I wonder if Tesla is losing its swag. I wonder if Tesla is losing. And this is interesting to me because one of the strengths, the strong points that Elon carries, one of the ways he's able to have hater repellent, and you can't cancel him, is because of his economic power built mostly through Tesla. Now he's got SpaceX for sure. He's got some other. He owns Twitter now for sure. That's kind of a work in progress. But Tesla's kind of his bread and butter. When he bought Twitter, Elon had to go sell some of his Tesla shares to be able to finance the deal with Twitter. He put some of his Tesla shares up as collateral to get the funding he needed to go buy Twitter. And now that Tesla shares are dropping in value, I wonder what kind of an economic threat that is for Musk, because when the value of your collateral starts to drop, you start getting margin calls from the bank. The bank starts asking you to pump out some more cash and stuff like that. And so the other day, if you guys were watching on the channel, I actually mentioned, even before this video came out, questioning the safety of their cars. And I really think Elon's enemies are really enjoying this, because they're realizing that Elon's strength is his position with Tesla and the fact that his technology is so far ahead of everybody else. And I see them now saying, okay, if we cut him off in that area, if we get the Tesla fans to stop believing in Elon, then that's our way to take away his power. And is it going to work? I have no idea. I still think Elon's smart. I like what he's doing with Twitter because I'm a believer in free speech. But at the same time, I think this could be a real threat. And the other day, I mentioned to you guys why I personally had decided I'm going to sell my shares of Tesla, which I already did, and I'm going to start short selling the stock. I'm going to buy some put options. I'm going to sell some call options. I'm going to do a lot of things that basically indicate a bearish position on Tesla, even with the price drop that we've seen to this point. And a few reasons are, one, I think that Musk is a little too distracted. I agree with that. A lot of shareholders are upset. They're suing him because they feel like with this Twitter stuff and all the political stuff, it's just getting to be too much of a distraction. You need to focus on the company that's falling apart in front of you, or not falling apart, where the stock price is falling apart. And it's almost like somebody who's out saving the world, but their own kids are, getting arrested and getting hooked on drugs and killing people because you're not spending time being a good parent. But you're out here like taking care of all the kids in the neighborhood except for your own. So a lot of people would say, get your butt back home and take care of your kids. So a lot of Elon Musk shareholders are basically saying that, look, dude, your stock price is plummeting and you're out here trying to go conquer the world. Well, you need to go conquer Tesla first. Number two, there are big problems in China right now. They ended the zero COVID policy, which a lot of people felt like they needed to do. There was a risk of a major uprising in China, and now they're feeling the effects of ending the zero COVID policy. They're literally getting like a million new COVID cases per day, I think, something ridiculously insane. I think 5,000 people a day are dying from COVID in China because I guess their immune system didn't build up the way ours did. Honestly, as much as you might get mad at people that didn't want to wear masks or didn't want to get the jab, there is kind of a herd immunity that's developed in the United States. I think that the herd immunity means that, yeah, some people are still going to be affected. The virus is still going to be out there, but Americans are a little bit more immune than we would have been otherwise. And again, I'm not telling you what your position should be one way or the other. I know some of you got the jab, some of you didn't. I don't judge you either way. I just want you to have full information so you can make the decision that works best for you. So China is having some big problems. And in fact, Elon Musk is actually offering discounts on his Teslas right now. And people are not buying based on the discounts. The discounts are not working. So this tells me, I think that at least in terms of perception, now reality may differ from perception, but I believe in terms of perception that a lot of companies have caught up with Tesla. And I kind of knew that they were going to do that. I kind of felt like you can't be ahead of all the other automobile manufacturers in such a dramatic way and not have them coming for that ass. Like, I really felt like they were going to be sitting in the lab figuring out, how do we catch up with this guy? This guy can't be smarter than all of our best engineers. A lot of Elon Musk's appeal comes from the public charisma and everything else. That creates a lot of risk in Tesla stock, by the way. They have a lot of what they call key man risk. So if something were to happen to Elon Musk, if he were to become unpopular, if he were to die by slipping in the shower, or he were to get locked up or something, that would actually plummet Tesla stock even further. So you got to be real careful with that. I think also, here's the other thing that was really interesting. Is there's a lot of brand damage that's coming with Musk. Now he's in the middle of the culture wars. So he's standing strong for what he believes in. I respect anybody that stands for what they believe in, even if they disagree with me. But the downside is that you have a scenario where half the country hates you. So half the country kind of hates Elon Musk right now because he's not a liberal or a Democrat. And I wonder how that's going to affect the purchase of Teslas. I mean, if I'm a raging liberal, I don't think I'd want to put money in the pocket of a guy that I felt was just bad for the country. Right. I'm not a raging liberal. I'm probably more in the middle. You know, I'm liberal in some areas. I'm conservative in others, you know, and I think that that's OK. I think that means I'm being black because I think black people are kind of like that. I think that we have some areas where we're very liberal, maybe on criminal justice. Like we know how bad the cops can be and stuff like that. We know about equality. We understand that a little bit better than other people because a lot of us came out of the gutter financially. But then at the same time, we also value things like family structure and stuff like that, which ends up leaning on the more conservative side. Also, I saw a lot of you were resistant to following along with big pharma or believing the government when it came time to figure out how to deal with the pandemic. So Musk is having a lot of brand damage. That I think is going to really affect him. It's going to catch up with him. And last but not least, this is really important, is even Elon Musk is selling his own stock. You know, he keeps promising that he's not going to sell any more Tesla shares, but he's broken that promise before. And I don't believe him. I believe that he's going to have some more financial challenges. They're going to require him to sell some more Tesla stock. He's already publicly stated the obvious. He already told y'all many times that he thought the stock price was overvalued. I admire that because he was being honest. Most CEOs are not that honest with you. He flat out told you that you were paying too much for the stock, that the stock isn't worth what the market is paying for it. So why would you not listen to the person who understands Tesla better than anybody, right? If you tell me that you are not worth what I claim that you're worth, then why would I continuously believe something that is in complete contradiction to what you say about yourself? So Tesla stock has been overpriced for a long time. Maybe now it's accurately priced, you know, based on the adjustments that have occurred since then. But I would just say, you know, when he says don't buy my stock, it's overpriced. Well, maybe you should listen to him. So I think Elon Musk could be in trouble. I really do. I think that video got my attention. I see this going viral online. I'll play it again for you guys to see it. Hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Also, please hit the notification bell if you haven't done that. And I like to give you guys free stuff that you can take a look at. If you go to boycewatkins.com, there's not just a free training on how to start a family investment club, but also at drboycecrypto.com, you can actually see a list of the cryptocurrencies that I currently own. I haven't sold them, even with the crypto winter. I'm hibernating my crypto for the winter because I believe the crypto winter is going to end. I think now is the best time. If you are a believer in crypto, now if you don't believe in crypto, then go buy something else. But if you are a believer in crypto, you don't want to wait until everything becomes popular and pricey. What you do is it's like gentrification. You don't benefit from gentrification when you buy the property after the price goes up. You benefit from gentrification when you buy it when nobody wants it, when it's a fixer-upper, you know. So right now, crypto is a big fixer-upper. I believe that the government's going to start regulating crypto more effectively. I also believe that that's going to lead to price increases over time because safety and security and reducing risk automatically increases the value of a financial asset. So crypto, especially stuff like Bitcoin has shown tremendous resilience during the crypto winter. I've been really impressed with the fact that Bitcoin has maintained the price above $16,000, $17,000 a coin. 5-6 years ago, that was nearly impossible to do. Now Bitcoin's holding strong. So if Bitcoin can hold a price of $16,000, $17,000 a coin at a time where crypto has literally taken the most brand damage that it's ever taken, literally lost more credibility than it's ever lost, then imagine what Bitcoin's going to do when everybody feels safe again and they have trust and faith in crypto again. And believe me, the banks are coming back. They're not going to be, they're gone forever. The institutional investors are going to start pumping their big money into crypto. Prices will go up for certain cryptos, and you want to be there before the fact. I don't recommend jumping in, or better, this is not investment advice, but I'm not trying to jump in after the prices go up. Okay. So drboycecrypto.com, you can see the crypto that I own. Feel free to do that. All right. So let me show you guys this video one more time in case you just came in. This is a video of a guy that it wanted to show that Tesla's like will get you killed or something. So he's got the Tesla in self-driving mode. So let me show you the video real quick.
What do you think Elon Musk's full self-driving Tesla will do when there's a child in a crosswalk?
It runs the child down.
We ran the test again. Watch the onboard footage. The test was conducted on a real street with a real crosswalk outside a school in Santa Barbara, California. There were no cones, there was room to swerve, and you can clearly see the accelerator. Full self-driving mode is engaged, the accelerator is not pressed, and the Tesla's display does not register the child. The Tesla runs down the child-sized mannequin.
Okay, so that's the narrative now. Teslas kill people. I don't know if that's true or not. I think that with self-driving cars, though, honestly, I think it's kind of a yin and yang situation where, people are going to die with self-driving cars. Things are going to happen. Now, if you're on Instagram, you didn't see the video because I can't play it on Instagram. But if you want to see it, just go to drboycetv.com. You can check it out there. But I can tell you what was in it. Basically, it was a video of a self-driving Tesla running over a little kid. And here's the thing. I feel like self-driving cars are going to come with risks that are unique to self-driving cars, right? It's not going to be perfect, and this idea that it has to be more perfect than any other technology, any other driving technology that we've had to this point, is kind of silly. I mean, if you want to talk about how many people get run over by self-driving cars, why don't we talk about how many people get run over by humans? What do you think? Which do you think is a higher number? The number of people that are run over by humans or the number of people that are being run over by self-driving cars? Which number do you think is higher? And so this idea that we're comparing self-driving technology to this standard of perfection is absolutely ridiculous. Just because it's AI and everything else that scares us, that doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. Thousands of people are going to die in self-driving vehicles, just like thousands of people have died on airplanes, thousands of people died in trains, thousands of people are die on the road every single year. So rather than comparing self-driving cars to perfection in a zero death policy, how about we compare self-driving cars to human beings? Now, I don't know the specific data. I have not looked into the research in extreme detail, but one thing I do recall reading is that the number of people that get hurt with self-driving cars is dramatically lower than what you get with cars being driven by human beings. And that's my criteria right there. I think it's good. I think it's going to be a better world, and I think one of the things that keeps us from being able to innovate in the United States is that we get so damn scared of taking a chance that we need things to be perfect before we can move forward. And it's just not going to be that way. If you look at did you all know that when NASA first started building rockets to go into space, half of the rockets blew up on takeoff? Did y'all know that? How many of y'all knew that? Half the rockets exploded, and so, and shout out to NASA, the old NASA and the new NASA. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know how it takes you 50 years to go back to the moon. That's super lame to me. That's very weird to me. But the old NASA, shout out to them, because whenever a rocket blew up, they would just go back to the drawing board, investigate what happened, and there would always be some brave souls that were willing to get back on the next rocket to see if it's going to work. And that's what innovation looks like. And that really actually even reflects what I want to share with you guys when it comes to building in the Black community. When it comes to building wealth in our community, when it comes to building institutions that are going to last, when it comes to leveling up our people, you got to accept the fact that sometimes your rocket is going to blow up. You have to accept the fact that some things that you put your energy into are not going to succeed. Don't go clown your cousin just because they quit their job to start a business. They ended up going down. Businesses fail all the time. Instead, why don't you applaud your cousin for trying? Applaud them for going out and learning something and exploring something that's different from what everybody else is doing. Just say, okay, cuz it didn't work out, but you learned a lot. I bet you learned a lot, right? And I think that's that's really, I'm not kidding. If you're talking about building an entrepreneurial culture, it must come with some ability to take calculated risk without being afraid. Seriously, like I saw in the chat that there's this great actor that I know. My wife knew him a long time ago named Chester Gregory. I saw Chester in the chat, and I bet you Chester will confirm to me that being the great actor that he is, he's extremely successful, he's really good at what he does. It requires the ability to courageously confront risk and know that sometimes the thing you try to do is going to fail miserably, almost at a level of embarrassment. Comedians understand that. They know what it's like to tell a joke that they falls completely flat. But what makes them great? The great ones is that they keep on going. They keep on trying. You got to keep innovating. And people who think like that, they tend to have more wealth than other people. They tend to have a more fulfilling life than other people. They tend to have more success than other people. So just understand that you'll never be great if you're always scared. If you operate in the prison of fear in what you do with your life, then you'll probably never even reach a fraction of your potential, because the way the universe works is that God doesn't give the greatest success to the people who don't try the hardest and don't put the most on the line. He just doesn't. He gives you baby level success because you're taking baby risks. I want you to take some big boy risks, some big girl risks. Don't put it all on the line. Don't be stupid, but go out there and jump in that fire and see what's going to happen. And just know that no matter what happens, there's always a lesson. There's always something in there that's going to make you better, right? So how you view risk and how you approach it is everything in terms of how you shape the economic culture in your family. So train your kids to take chances and always think about ways you can respond when those risks don't work out the way you expected them to. If you do that, then your child will be okay with taking chances, failing of several times, and then but what's going to happen is they're going to have that one success that's going to make them $100 million, and that's all the world is going to remember. The world doesn't really remember all the times you tried that it didn't work out. They only remember that one time you did try and it did work out, and that's what makes you a legend. Okay, so let's make some legendary kids. Let's stop feeding mediocrity. I'm sick of that crap. We're better than that. All right, so do me a favor. If you could, please hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. Don't forget, you can watch this podcast, listen to it on Spotify. Just look up the Dr. Boyce breakdown if you want to listen to it on Spotify. And also, if you go to my website, boycewatkins.com, you can see some of the stuff we have going on. If you know, in the Black Business School, we created the first ever Black financial therapy department to dig into areas like financial trauma, financial anxiety. We're partnering with the best therapists in the world, the best financial experts, and we are digging into the psychological barriers that keep us from building Black wealth. And that's a lot of what is contained in the book I just wrote called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. I'm going to do a book tour in the spring and the summer. So when I come to your city, I'll let you guys know. So feel free to look the book up on Amazon if you'd like to get a copy now. All right, guys. So have a good day. God bless you. Thank you for listening. And hit the thumbs up button on your way out. And I'll see you soon. Take care now. Peace.